So I really wanted to go to the park today and I wanted to record at the park, but full transparency, I woke up so sad this morning. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I feel my emotions the deepest in the morning, like right when I wake up. I know however I'm feeling in the morning is how I actually feel. It's before I've been able to speak to anybody, it's before anything, and it's really just like me in the morning after resting and my thoughts, and that's when I feel like I feel myself the most clearly. Yeah, I don't know, I woke up this morning and I was just like really, I don't know, I was just like sad, and I think it had to do with a conversation that I had last night that just kind of was able to express how much lovelessness I feel in the society and around me and around us. And it's just, I don't know, it's just like devastating to me. Like, we are all living in a constant state of lovelessness, whether or not we feel it within ourselves, you know, every moment, whether or not we simply see it or we ourselves are experiencing it. I feel like so much lovelessness exists within this society, and because of that, it's created such an individualistic and callous perspective of ourselves and others. And this is not to say that I don't experience moments of genuine joy and happiness and pleasure, because honestly, for the most part, I do really try to at least strive to exist in that, or naturally exist in that. I'm not even saying I'm someone who feels like I walk this world with a very loveless perspective, but I just feel like the lovelessness that exists within our society is reflected back to us on so many levels and in so many ways that seem personal, and in ways that are like global, like what's happening now in the Congo and Palestine and Sudan. And I know there's so much more going on in the world right now that goes past those three genocides that are quite literally happening, but it's, I guess, where I think I see the most lovelessness reflected back to us in social media and so many folks' disposition towards the matter. And so that's just like a really easy example, but it's just, I don't know, it's just so depressing to see how people react to such tragedy and how we're so quick to deprive ourselves and deprive others of their humanity, of their livelihood, and sort of like categorize other people's issues as something that's either above us or something that we don't necessarily have to worry about because we feel like our lives are not immediately impacted and our lives are not immediately at stake because of someone else's suffering. It's just like exhausting, because I don't know if we'd ever get to a tipping point in the sense that we feel each other's pain so immensely that it causes us to change. Really, I mean, honestly, at this point, I told y'all how I feel. It just feels like we as a community, as mankind, would have to go so far outside of ourselves to shift this type of mentality and to shift this paradigm of thought. It's sad that it feels so cliche to say that we need love, and I hate how that sounds because this is not like a love and light conversation. Like, I am deeply rageful at this moment, and the fact that it may be alluded to someone as just like this bypassing of all of the pain and suffering to go straight into this love and light mentality is terrifying, and I hope no one takes it this way. But I feel like a fact of the matter is we need love, and love is something that we were never taught. I was never taught how to love. I was never truly taught how to love in a way that was healthy, and our society promotes toxic, unhealthy, and shallow love, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of people who, through life experiences, can learn what love truly is. And I think there's a lot of people that walk this world through love, but we live in a state of lovelessness. And because of that, we lack humanity for each other and within ourselves, because I don't truly believe that we honestly know how to love ourselves either. Why does it take someone going on some strange spiritual journey after a catastrophic heartbreak or some type of life-threatening event to learn how to love themselves and to learn how to heal and to process their emotions? Why are so many of us out here online, on YouTube, on social media, simply just looking for ways to fix ourselves? Like, we weren't taught how to love each other, let alone how to love ourselves and how to give, honestly. I think we've become so desensitized by the propaganda that we've been fed and willingly received, and we've been so desensitized by the internet and seeing all the horrors and the pain and the suffering that others go through that we no longer feel like those images and those narratives are impacting us negatively. Like, to sit here on my bed in the middle of the day and not feel any immediate threat to my life is a privilege. And so many people out there don't exist in that reality. And it's hard to even put my own situation into perspective and realize that this bed and this apartment and this entire city is sitting on stolen land. To even exist here with the conscious awareness that a whole society had to be wiped out and murdered and pushed to small segments of the US for me to live this life and have this lifestyle is hard for me to wrap my brain around. And it's not even something that I can wrap my brain around because I don't even know. And that's kind of the funny thing. The reason why I feel like we end up being so desensitized is mainly because of our lack of understanding and our lack of information and knowledge. And that's why I think it's so heartbreaking to see what's happening right now and see how much information is being pushed by people who are trying to have us wake up and trying to have us stay present and be aware of what's truly happening, and to see how so many of us are actively trying to deny the truth for the sake of our own well-being and for the sake of our ability to continue forward with this fake and false reality that it doesn't affect us. And to just see so many people from various platforms and statuses deny the humanity of others just to simply continue on with their own version of reality that doesn't get impacted by this. And I think it puts a lot of people who are really trying to be conscious in such a weird position, because I feel like we end up holding the butt of the pain and the rage and the anger. And I use the word lovelessness with a lot of intention because it's actually an adopted word in my vocabulary. It's something that I've taken with me as I have been going through and reading all about love by Bell Hooks. And I just think that word is really powerful and succinct and fully encompasses that feeling of lacking love, but not in the sense of just self, but reflected in the society around us. And for me, that book was really expansive surrounding love and what love is and what it looks like. And I feel like it's something that I think it could be taken even further and really be applied to how we choose to walk through the world, perceive the world, and see others truthfully. Because I feel like if we are not operating through love, if we are not looking at these situations through the perspective of true love and genuine love, not just our perception of love through media and society and what's been fed to us, but genuine love, I feel like a lot more people would wake up to the horrors and be more readily available to process all of the pain and the hardship and the hurt that is happening to those around us, and see it in a way that leads them to seeing the connection and not actively trying to disconnect and pull back and rein in their own emotions. I feel like a lot of us has not really been trained to be able to withstand the type of pain and trauma that is currently being formed, and because of it, we want to retreat. But it really is important for us to attempt to stay strong and attempt to really fully allow ourselves to grieve and to process in the moment and not shield ourselves. And even this is really hard for me to talk about because I don't feel like I'm someone who really has the answers or even has the words to truly express how I feel on the inside. So I feel like it's really such a reach for me to speak about this, but I am only doing so in an attempt to reach others who may feel the same, and to also teach myself to be this open and honest and transparent and present with my emotions, because like I said, this is no longer something that frustrates me online. It's something that has fully trickled into my personal life and my personal emotional landscape. I think it had since the beginning, but it's just gotten to a point where my body is now actually reacting to it, and I could feel it when I wake up. Like, I feel the heaviness, and I can't ignore that. And I don't think, if you're someone who feels that way as well, should ignore it too. I think there's a lot of different ways that we can pursue knowledge and pursue love and pursue ways to genuinely connect with people around us, regardless of time, distance, and space. And I think being open and honest about how situations like this feel is one of the ways of doing that. If you are someone who can donate, I've donated. I think if you're someone who can donate, that is a very real and material way of showing support. Speaking about it from a very objective point is another way to support, and to express your subjective opinions is also a very powerful way to support. So I feel like there's a lot of ways that we can actually foster conversation and foster knowledge and truth and connection. And I really see that as the only solution for now. You know, obviously at this point it really does feel like we're powerless against like officials and people who are really making those decisions. But I mean, I think another truth is that we do really outnumber those people, and at some point there has to be a tipping point, and we have to believe that, because if we don't, then I really think we lose in that sense. I think we have lost if we really feel like there's nothing that we can do. I hope that you guys are finding healing and peace of mind throughout all of this, and trying your best to stay present and continue to search for answers and connect and spread love and not look away. You know, I don't think anyone is in a position to look away, because this impacts all of us, whether we realize it or not. I think it will in the future. It does now, and it has in the past. So if you do anything, just don't look away.